Have you ever walked into a new space, maybe a bustling college dining hall or even just the office kitchen on your first day, and felt like you're the only one who missed the memo on how everyone else connects?
Oh, yeah, that feeling.
It's like you're on this tiny, deserted island, watching this massive fleet of ships sail by, everyone laughing and talking, and they don't even see you.
It's such a profoundly relatable feeling, isn't it? That whole surrounded by people but utterly alone thing. It hits hard, especially when you're starting fresh somewhere unfamiliar.
Right. It feels so isolating, even though apparently tons of people feel it.
Exactly. It's a major source of social anxiety for a lot of folks.
It really is. And that feeling, that isolation, is exactly what we're going to dive into today.
Yeah.
We're looking at this amazing guide. It's called The Architect's Guide to Friendship. And our mission really is to help you figure out how to get off that lonely island and, build your own thriving social archipelago. Because the key idea here is that connection isn't some magic talent. It's a skill. You can actually learn it.
Yeah, the guide makes that so clear. It uses this character, Leo, a new college student, who's basically living that lonely island scenario, surrounded by people, totally adrift.
Or Leo.
Yeah. But his resident advisor, Sam, gives him this brilliant insight. He says friendship isn't just luck. It doesn't just happen. Sam says it's built, plank by plank.
Plank by plank. I love that.
And what's so great is how it reframes everything. It's not about having some mystical charisma you were born with or weren't. It's like architecture. It's a process, something you can learn with steps. It just takes the pressure off immediately.
Totally. It's like Sam tells Leo, you're not just sitting there waiting for a rescue ship. You have to become a bridge builder.
Right, a builder.
And not like the Golden Gate Bridge on day one. He stresses starting small. Build these tiny, shaky footbridges first. Then maybe move on to causeways and eventually those big suspension bridges.
It really breaks it down. It makes it feel possible, not so overwhelming. Like, okay, maybe I can do this if I have the blueprints.
Exactly. So let's talk about that overwhelm Leo feels. The guide paints such a vivid picture, doesn't it?
Oh, absolutely. You can just see him eating dinner alone in his dorm room, pretending to be fascinated by his phone.
Been there.
Right. Scrolling through old photos of high school friends, wishing he was back there. Every day felt like the first day all over again, that same awkwardness.
Yeah.
And just the thought of walking up to a group and saying hi, it felt impossible, like completely out of reach.
It's so relatable, that paralysis. We've all felt that outsider thing, like everyone else got the secret instructions. So, okay, what's the very first step? How does Sam tell Leo to break out of that?
Well, Sam introduces Blueprint, #1, the 5-minute footbridge. And the concept is, it's kind of genius in how simple it is.
Okay.
It's the most basic, lowest stakes structure you can build. It's designed purely to make a quick, fleeting human connection before your anxiety can even really grab hold.
Before the panic kicks in.
Exactly, because, our brains are kind of wired to see new social stuff as potentially threatening. That's where the anxiety comes from. But this is so fast, so focused on just a simple shared reality, it sort of bypasses that fight or flight thing.
Ah.
You're basically just gently retraining your brain, showing it that these little interactions are safe. It builds a tiny bit of comfort, making the next step feel less terrifying.
Like a microdose of social interaction, you said. I like that. So practically, how does it work? Where do you even try this?
The location is super simple.
Yeah.
Think about those 5 minutes right before or right after a class, or, maybe while you're waiting in line for coffee. Your target, just the person right next to you, your nearest island.
Okay, the person physically closest.
Yep. And the materials, the conversation starters are incredibly basic. The guide gives 3 options, 3 planks.
Okay.
First, the shared experience plank. Something like, wow, that lecture was intense. What did you think about the part on whatever specific topic?
Gotcha. Something you both just went through.
Exactly. Second, the simple question plank. Like, hey, have you started the reading for next week? I'm kind of trying to figure out where to begin.
Practical, simple.
And the third one, which I kind of like, is the observation plank. Hey, that's a cool sticker on your laptop. Is that from a show?
So these aren't about being witty or deep or anything?
No, at all. It's just about making contact. The method is just as simple. Turn slightly, make like 1 second of eye contact, ask the question, and then actually listen to the answer.
And that's it. No pressure for some brilliant follow-up.
Nope. The success is just making that brief connection, your voice crossing the space between you. It's just acknowledging their presence in a really small, non-threatening way.
Okay. And Leo tries this.
He does. It's a great example. He's in his history lecture, heart pounding, but he takes a breath, Lecture ends. He turns to the girl next to him and just asks, hey, did he say the paper was due on the 5th or the 6th?
Simple question.
Super simple. She smiles, says the 6th. He says, oh, cool, thanks. That's it. Maybe 10 seconds total.
10 seconds.
But the impact, huge for him. Because the next time he saw her in the hall, she gave him this little nod, like recognition.
Oh.
He wasn't just some random face anymore. He was the guy who asked about the due date. It sounds tiny, but that little bit of reciprocal recognition, it's foundational. It signals, safety, openness. It breaks the anonymity.
That's actually massive.
It's
so simple, but yeah, it's about being seen, even for a second, leaving a tiny trace. Okay, it's a rickety footbridge, like Sam said, but it's there.
It is, and it directly fights that fear of being totally invisible. Plus, that tiny success, it can build momentum, right?
Definitely.
And it really shows the power of just using what's around you. Proximity, shared environment. You don't have to wait for some big party or event. These micro moments are happening all day long.
Right, leverage the everyday stuff.
Exactly. Consistent, low-effort interactions slowly build familiarity.
Yeah.
And comfort.
Okay, so you start laying down these little 5-minute footbridges. What's the next blueprint? How do you build on that?
Right, so you've made these fleeting connections. Now you need something more substantial. That brings us to blueprint. #2, the causeway.
The causeway. Okay, sounds sturdier.
It is, because unlike a footbridge, a causeway is built on a solid foundation. And in the social world, that foundation is a shared interest.
Okay. Common ground.
Precisely. This is how you start finding your archipelago, those groups of people, those islands, that are naturally closer because you share something you all care about. You're moving from just being near someone by chance to being near them because of a shared purpose or passion.
So where do you find these opportunities? What are the locations for causeways?
Think clubs, student groups, maybe intramural sports, volunteer organizations, even things like workshops or community choirs, anything where people gather around a common activity.
Okay.
But the key, and the guide really emphasizes this, is authenticity.
Yeah.
Not join something you genuinely enjoy. Don't join the pre-law society because it looks good if you actually hate thinking about law. If you love terrible old sci-fi movies, join the film club. If you like hiking, find the hiking group. Your real passion is the main building material here.
I love that. Because then the activity does the work for you, right? You're not desperately trying to think of things to say.
Exactly. That's the beauty of the causeway. The shared activity is the conversation starter. It does the heavy lifting. In a hiking club, you talk about the trail, the view, the gear. In a gaming club, you're talking strategy rules, maybe complaining about bad dice rolls. If you're volunteering, you're working together on the task. The whole focus shifts away from that awkward pressure of, I have to make friends now, to just, hey, we're doing this fun thing together.
And friendship just sort of happens.
It becomes a natural byproduct. It's not forced. It taps into that idea of flow. When you're absorbed in an enjoyable activity together, connection happens much more easily.
That makes perfect sense. And that's what happens with Leo, right? With the board games.
Yeah, exactly. He'd always loved board games. Sees a flyer for a weekly board game night. He admits walking in there alone that first time, terrifying, one of the hardest things he'd done.
Oh, I bet. You could just picture him standing in the doorway.
Totally. All those internal voices screaming, abort, abort, abort. But he pushes through. And within minutes, he's at a table with 3 other people, deep in a debate about the best strategy for Settlers of Catan.
Amazing.
And suddenly, he's not Leo, the lonely freshman. He's the guy with all the sheep or whatever. He's talking. He's actually laughing. He completely forgot to be anxious.
Because he was into the game.
Right. The game provided the structure, the conversation. It let him be himself without that crippling self-consciousness. That was his causeway. Solid, stable, built on something he genuinely enjoyed.
It's so much easier when you're genuinely excited. Your brain is busy with the fun thing, not with worrying about what to say. Passion is your secret weapon.
It really is. The energy is already there. You're not manufacturing conversation. You're just sharing something cool. And you see this in workplaces too, right? The softball team, the book club, even just the group that always grabs coffee together, they provide that ready-made foundation.
Okay, so Leo's map is looking better. He's got these footbridges to classmates. He's got this solid causeway to the board game crew. He knows people. People recognize him. But they're not quite friends yet, right?
Not in the way he wants, no. They're acquaintances, friendly faces, and that's when Sam tells him he's ready for the next level. Blueprint, #3. the suspension bridge.
The suspension bridge. Okay, this sounds like a bigger deal.
It is. And Sam calls it the scariest blueprint
Oh.
because it requires a real leap of faith. This is the blueprint that transforms a casual connection, someone you know from class or the club, into an actual friendship.
How? What's the leap?
It comes down to one simple but, yeah, often terrifying tool, the invitation.
Ah.
Oh.
Asking someone to do something outside of the usual context.
Exactly. It's not just sharing a space anymore, like in class or at the club. It's initiating shared time. It involves a little more vulnerability.
Okay, so you can launch this invitation from anywhere, right?
Right.
To someone you have a footbridge or causeway with.
Yep. After class, end of the game night, maybe in the cafeteria. And the key is the materials, the offer itself needs to be low stakes. You don't want to make it some huge pressured thing.
Keep it casual.
Totally. The guide suggests things like the study session. Hey, want to maybe get together sometime this week to study for that midterm? Simple.
Okay.
Or the food drink run. I'm heading to the coffee shop after this. Want to come? Super casual.
Yeah, easy yes or no.
Or, and this one's great for club friends, the group expansion. Hey, a few of us are going to grab pizza after this. You should totally join. Takes the one-on-one pressure off, too.
Nice. So the method is basically just ask.
Pretty much. Take a deep breath, keep it casual, and remind yourself, like the guide says, you're not asking them to be your soulmate for life. You're just asking if they want to share a pizza or a coffee, or in Leo's case, a milkshake.
Low commitment.
Very low commitment. But why is that invitation so important? Why is it the suspension bridge?
Good question. Why?
Because it signals trust. It signals a desire for connection beyond the structured activity or the accidental proximity. It says, hey, I enjoy your company enough that I want to spend time with you outside of this specific context.
Oh, okay. It's taking it a step further.
It is. It's a small act of vulnerability. And when someone accepts, that reciprocation starts building a genuine bond.
Okay, so Leo.
Yeah.
He takes the leap with the milkshake.
He does. Picture this. Board game night ends. A couple of the members are packing up. His heart is hammering. He's probably sweating.
Oh.
But he just goes for it. Hey, he says, I was thinking of grabbing a late night milkshake. Anyone want to join?
Gutsy. What happened?
Well, this is the good part. One guy's face just lights up. Oh man, I am so in. That sounds amazing. Another person agrees. So the three of them walk over to this nearby diner.
Okay.
And that's where the magic happens. Because for the first time, they're not talking about Catan strategy or game rules.
Right.
The conversation shifts. They start talking about their hometowns, complaining about the same terrible professor, discovering they both love old sci-fi movies. It became a real conversation.
Wow.
He'd done it. He'd built a suspension bridge, a connection strong enough to carry the weight of actual friendship outside the game night.
That is the moment of truth, isn't it? It takes courage, but yeah, that's where you move from just knowing someone to actually starting to know them.
Exactly. Sharing yourself a bit more. And that shared experience outside the original context, that's what really cements things, whether it's grabbing lunch with a colleague or going for a hike with a fellow volunteer.
Okay, this is brilliant. So footbridges, causeways, suspension bridges. But Sam had one more piece of advice, right? Some final rules.
He did. His Bridge Inspector's Final Guide, Rules of the Road, for becoming a master architect of friendships. And these are just, pure gold. They really help manage expectations and navigate the bumps.
Yeah, they take the pressure off.
They totally do. Mm-hmm. They really reinforce resilience, self-awareness. It's not always smooth sailing when you're building connections.
Okay, so what's rule number one?
Be the builder, not the spectator. Simple, but powerful. Don't just wait around hoping someone else will make the first move or that friendships will magically appear. Take initiative. You're the architect.
Own it. Okay. Rule 2.
Start with small planks. Goes back to the footbridge idea. You don't need dazzling wit or some amazing life story ready to go. Simple, relevant questions are enough. Keep it small, keep it manageable.
No need for stand-up comedy. Got it. Rule 3.
And this one is so important. Not every bridge is meant to last.
Oh, okay.
Some people just won't be receptive. Some attempts will fizzle out. The connection just won't click. And crucially, that is not a failure on your part. The guide calls it an incompatible building site. It says absolutely nothing about your worth as a builder. You just acknowledge it, learn from it if you can, and move on.
That takes so much pressure off. Knowing it's okay if it doesn't work out every time.
It's a huge mindset shift. It stops you from getting paralyzed by fear of rejection or thinking you did something wrong. Social chemistry is complicated. Sometimes the site just isn't right. Dust yourself off, try again elsewhere.
Okay. Rule 4.
Maintenance is required. Bridges need upkeep, right? So do friendships. Once you've made a connection, keep it going with small things. A simple, hey, how's it going? When you see them, a quick check-in message. It shows you value the connection.
Little bits of reinforcement.
Exactly. And the last one, rule 5, look for other bridge builders.
Meaning?
Connect with people who are also making an effort. You can often spot them. They're the ones who seem open, who respond positively, who maybe even initiate sometimes. They're the ones who will happily say yes to that milkshake.
Ah, find people who are also trying.
Yeah, they get it. They appreciate the effort. Connecting with them creates this positive cycle.
These rules are fantastic. Be the builder, start small, know not all bridges last, do maintenance, and find others who are building too.
It's a great framework.
So let's circle back to Leo. Sitting in that same dining hall where he once felt so isolated, what does it look like now?
It's a completely different picture. He looks up from his phone, yeah, but not to escape into old photos. He's looking around, engaging.
Okay.
He spots the girl from history class, the due date girl, and gives her a friendly wave. She waves back. He sees one of the guys from board game night, gives him a nod, gets a smile back.
Nice.
The room isn't a sea of strangers anymore. It's become this landscape of possibility, all these potential connections, islands waiting for bridges. He's not stranded. He's the architect. He's just getting started.
Wow. That's such a powerful image of change. And it all started with those tiny, intentional steps.
Exactly. From a 10-second question about a due date.
It really shows, doesn't it? This whole deep dive into the Architect's Guide. Building connections isn't magic. It's not about just being charismatic. It's about having a plan, taking small actions, being brave enough for the invitation, and understanding that it's okay if things don't always click.
Yeah, and these blueprints, these rules, they aren't just for college students like Leo. They apply everywhere, don't they?
Totally.
Yeah.
Starting a new job, moving to a new city, even just wanting to deepen the connections you already have.
Which really raises a question for all of us listening, I think. No matter where you are in life, how can you use these blueprints? What island in your life feels a bit isolated right now? Where could you build a bridge?
Yeah. What tiny, shaky footbridge could you maybe try to lay down this week? Who's your nearest island?
And how can you start thinking of yourself not as someone waiting to be rescued, but as the architect of your own social world? It's about becoming more intentional.
It really is. It's not just about making friends, is it? It's about building a richer, more connected life for yourself. So the final thought for you is just that. What's the next bridge you're going to build? What small plank will you lay down today?